Matoke. Let's keep on Matoke.
How you do it? Stop calling people Matoke. You're calling people banana.
Hey yo, what's up?
Hey.
Welcome to On the Couch with the Nubons.
On the couch with the newborn.
Yeah, soundtrack.
I just, it came to me.
Cheers, okay.
And I just felt like moved.
Cheers. Oh, yeah?
God said.
Yeah, I thought you had poetry level. Now you
No,
went
I mean,
to,
I'm at
to
the
the seventh heaven.
upper echelon.
Come on, girl.
Elevated.
Mhm.
Head and not the tail.
You're a prophetess now.
Listen.
Okay.
Third Testament.
Yay!
Right here.
Yeah.
Let's stop.
I think that's a story we should tell.
At some point.
Some
We're going to do a podcast about the Third Testament.
The third one.
And how we believed.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's leave it there.
Anyway,
What's up?
yo, man. What?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said I have a song to share with you today.
On today. Let's go. I'm excited.
On today.
I'm excited.
It's just, I mean, every song I share with you is dodgy.
Okay, let me let you.
I'm gonna share happy songs.
But no, share your song.
I'll
Let's hear.
share a happy song with you sometime, but it'll also have dodgy lyrics, just like this one. I think
What is it in you
What?
that makes you
What?
drawn to the dodgy lyrics or the dodgy songs?
I'm observant.
Yeah, but you can observe other things.
No, I observe everything, and then my ear's like, hey.
So what's
going on there?
Exactly. What is it in you that makes your ear go, hey?
I'm a righteous man.
Okay.
And therefore my righteous ears can hear the ratchet.
The ratchetness.
Yes.
Do people still say ratchet?
Yeah.
I never said ratchet. Let me not even.
The righteous ears hear the ratchetness of the wrong song.
Yes.
The rest of Africa thinks South Africans pronounce their R's like this.
Yes. I remember going to which Kenya.
You don't remember. You remember.
I remember. I remember going to Kenya, and I went on to stage, and they were like, "Please introduce yourself."
Mm-hmm.
And I spoke like as I'm speaking now, and they were like, "Oh, why are you speaking like that?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then the guy's like, "Because we know that South Africans talk like this. They go arr and arr." And I was like, "What is happening?"
Why?
And this is literally on stage in front of like 1,000 people.
And all the Kenyans are like, right.
They talk like arr. And I was like, so they literally were like, I'm like a fake. Like I didn't actually grow up here. I must have grown up somewhere else.
You know what the issue is?
What is
they
the
watch
issue?
Sarafina.
We bled.
And then Sarafina.
We wept.
They whipped us. And whipped us. So now we remember. I'm like, yo, dog, like, we don't speak like that, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway,
your song.
My
Sorry,
song-
we lost track.
my song is Girl, I Wanna Make You Sweat. Aye. Sweat till you
Sis
can't
Black.
sweat no more. And if you cry, I'm
gonna
push it. That song is dodge, bro.
That song is bad.
Let's start here. First of all, who is that dog that sang that song?
Nobody knows who sang that song, but I swear to you, any kid born
I bet you
in the 80s, 90s knows that song.
there's a dodgy uncle who has that guy's collection.
Like, I'm scared to hear what his other songs are.
That's what I'm saying.
Why was that song on radio?
Why did,
At that
First
time?
of all, that's what I wanted. One, who's that guy? Secondly, why was that song on radio?
And are you
Why?
telling me none of our
Why?
parents thought, these lyrics are a little bit...
That song played at kids festivals, bro.
Dude!
Family festivals.
We were in grade 2 going, ah la 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 long, ah la 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 long, li li long, long, long.
Bro, and that's what I'm saying. Like, growing up, I'm like, wait a minute, dog. What the hell were we singing
I don't
here?
know.
'Cause
And why
that-
were we allowed to do that?
That's straight out the R word that we can't say probably.
No, it's assault.
And
It's
the-
SA.
Yes. Yeah.
It's bad. That's what they call it. Don't laugh. No, it's bad. No,
Anyway.
it's a bad song.
It is,
It's not an okay song.
It is dodge, bro. If you didn't realize that song basically says that you want to assault somebody.
If you cry, I'm gonna push it some more.
I'm like, evil. Let's just you the devil. That guy.
Then he goes, push it.
And then we all like, push it some more. Anyway, that's my Dodgy
I
song.
feel like we're gonna be singing that song at the end of this episode, like because it's very catchy.
It's gonna be in our ears
Like,
a long time.
Apparently, if you sing Amazing Grace, it takes out earworms. Like, you know, like when a song is stuck in your head.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I was trying to think about Amazing Grace, and I'm like,
It actually, I think it works, but I don't know.
Doesn't Amazing Grace become the worm?
But it's like an okay worm because it's like I don't know what I'm saying. I just know that if we reach the point at the end of this podcast where one of us goes, no, I read it somewhere.
TikTok is your cultural zeitgeist. Yeah.
Oof, remember that, Docky, bro. We're revealing our ancient age.
Anyway,
let's go.
Dope dog. We're here now. Right? Speaking about old songs, yeah, we need to chat about what you would say to your 17-year-old self. How old were you when I met you?
18. You were 19.
Yes, see.
I've known you for long, bro. You're my oldest now. Well, you're my oldest friend.
I am your oldest friend.
Like, because I'm like, I know people from high school, but we're not friends in that. Like, cause we like Instagram friends. But you are literally my oldest living friend.
I just felt like I was 100 years when you said my oldest living friend. I'm like, people who are 80, 90, that's what they say.
I know.
Because it's like, see that dang though.
No, you know what it is? Because there are people who still have friends from like primary school, from crash, from
I just think
who are like close. I don't really have that.
You've probably seen so many people die, bro.
That's sad.
That is rough. And that's my dream.
I feel
80.
like I will be like, guys, when is my turn? When is it my turn now? If like all my friends die and I'm 80,
you want to die earlier.
I'm very fine with leaving this place.
No, I'm fine. And that's why I don't want to have more babies.
I mean, now that you included the kids, I was just speaking of myself in isolation, bro.
But you
Why
can't,
you like
dog.
that?
You can't.
Okay.
What would you say to your... basically the chick I met in first year?
Whoa, is that where this conversation's going?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's like a different dynamic.
In what sense?
Because like I thought you were asking me what would I as Lily say to 17-year-old Lily, not as what would you say to 18-year-old Lily.
No, that's the second part of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I wonder what I would say to your 17-year-old self, 18-year-old self when I met you. I wonder what I would say.
Okay, maybe we can address that later.
Yeah, dope. So, what would you say?
You know, like it's wild because I think at the time where things were really rough for me internally, like from like 2019, 18 up until like 2022, really. I think a big thing I would have said to my younger self would be like, stop dreaming, stop having this idea of life working out for you. Like, throw that stuff away. Like, life sucks, and your job is to do as much as you can do so that it doesn't suck that bad for you. Because at the time, I was in such a bad place. So for context, like I was always the kid or the teenager, whatever, who believed I'm going to be great. I'm going to do this. I'm going there was just it was naivety as well. Naivete, however you say that. And mixed with entitlement, mixed with a lot of things, right? And so when life showed me flames, you know, and I started seeing that flip, just because you dream it doesn't mean you can do it.
Yes.
Remember when the people would come and talk to us at school?
I was listening to Nas.
Yeah.
I know I can.
Yeah. Be what I wanna be.
Yeah, and I was like, the song's dope, you know? And I think there's a lot of like misconceptions around being black that he's breaking there, which is dope. But the hook, I was like, I'm fine. Listen, I'm a Nas fan. But I was like, that hook set us up, dog. I know I can be what I want to be. If I work hard at it, I'll be
where I want to be.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's a lie. But I know why.
That's a controversial opinion, but I think
it's a lie.
Most people in 30s will be like,
no, it is a lie. How many of us have worked hard?
Yeah, and stuff hasn't worked out.
We're not where we wanted to be.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's a lie because, and that's the thing we need to be careful of, even as we chat in this conversation. Careful of what we leave for the next generation, because we tend to spew a message for the next generation based on our lived experience.
100%.
But then you're not preparing kids for the world they're going to live in.
Yes.
You're trying to prepare them for the world you've just
lived in. Yes.
Right?
So you're trying to heal your stuff through.
Exactly.
No, I've had that chat. Like there's been moments where I've looked at Zaya, our daughter, for if you're not familiar.
Yeah.
And I've looked at her and thought to myself, how, in me doing whatever it is in that moment, am I trying to heal a wound that was mine, that she doesn't actually have?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just sort of bouncing off of that, like my thing was I wanted to be this person who, when I have a child, I'm going to teach you that, you know, if you just follow your heart, everything's going to work out. And now I'm sitting there going, flip, stuff hasn't worked out. Like the worst possible thing happened. Yeah. Like literally when I was like 18 and I'll think, I don't want to be 30 and like be stuck and I haven't done this and I don't have, and I'm like everything. I was like, not everything, but a lot of the core things that I was so afraid of happened, right?
I just had a thought. Anyway, yeah.
Okay. So if you had asked me this question last year, it would have come, I would have had a very cynical answer. Very cynical, very bitter. Because that's what I was. I was disillusioned. I was all of the stuff. But I think in the process I've gone through this year, 2023, which has been a great year for me, not in the sense of stuff I've done, oh, we bought a house and we did this and we went where, which would be nice. All of those things would be nice. But just the internal breakthroughs I've had.
Yeah.
Now I can sort of look back and what I would say to my 17-year-old self now is things will get hard. You will question everything, your entire being, but you will be fine. Because now I can kind of look back at the version of myself that just believed everything would work out for me just because I thought it would.
Or just because you're talented.
Yeah, I'm talented and this should work, right? Like, plus there's God said, which is another conversation we'll have at some point.
Yeah.
But all of that stuff, right? There's a version of me talking to that, but also the version of me that is talking to where everything fell apart and saying, like, it's gonna fall apart. You will literally, like, I was knocking on death's door, like, fam, I'm good. It's like, that's how bad things got, right? Obviously, But my point is now I can look back at all of that naivety, all of that stuff, and having the world and my experience work itself out where it was the complete opposite of what I thought it would be. But looking back at those experiences and the amount of stuff that I've learned about myself, that even when I was 17 and there was a level of everything will work out, a lot of that, like for instance, was coming from a deep fear that everything wouldn't work out. So I have to press in that everything will work out. Sure. You know what I mean? And so now it's like I would say,
no, that's good.
Rounding it out, I would say to myself, it's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt, but you'll be all right.
Which I think is a transcendent message compared to work hard, things will work out, or just dream big
and it's gonna be okay.
Or the polar opposite, life just sucks.
Yes, which I don't want that either.
Don't work, don't do anything. But this is like, no, this is transcendent across generations, across seasons. That's what life is. Life has sucky moments. There's hope, sometimes things.
Yes.
Anyway.
And I think that's what I would say to our daughter. Like, go for the big thing.
Yeah.
But your heart will break.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens in this world that we live in, where not everything is perfect.
Yes.
You will go through storms.
Yes.
There will be a level of suffering you'll go through.
Yes.
But you will be okay. You know what I mean? And I think now, where I'm at now, where I am dreaming again, it's actually way more powerful now than what it was when I was 17. Because I know, because I've been at the bottom, right? I've been at rock bottom and I got a spade and I dug myself even deeper. There's more power in being able to dream from that place than from the place of everything will work out because I'm special and I'm unique. And
I am gifted.
Right?
God
which
said.
which all those things are still true. No, we'll throw it in, and you guys will let us know. Like, do you want us to talk about the God said?
We have to.
Right? But like, it's it's just more powerful to say, despite having experienced the worst possible level of failure, right? Like, and where you're so, I was so embarrassed to meet people I went to school with. Like, I remember seeing people at the mall, and fam, I would walk into Pep like I planned to go there and look at those candlestick holders, because I'm not gonna go say hi to that chick. Hell no. What are you saying? Right? But now to be like, I'm dreaming. Because I know that I can survive. So I can either just kind of be completely negative, which is what I was doing. And then what am I teaching myself? What am I teaching my kid? Versus, okay, let's go, because we know what failure looks like and we survived it. So let's go.
And failure for now, because, we don't want to also be naive at this stage to think that we might not have bigger failures.
Oh, yeah.
So what? That's the biggest failure where we at now. But we might have bigger failures in future.
But the lesson is you just keep moving.
Yeah.
Because there's so much joy in that. Because even as I say to you,
somebody's
right, like,
probably like, don't say that. There's so much power in your tongue.
No, and there really is, which I've also learned there is. But as I'm saying that, so many of the worst possible outcomes happen for me. But in that, I had completely ignored that something that I had kind of prayed for in the background but wasn't really focused on, which was, I want to get married. I want like a good marriage. I want like a kid. I want like that has been the most amazing experience that I've had. You know what I mean?
Thanks,
and
my
like,
friend.
I'm not saying that just for you, but it's true. It's
no,
true, nah?
Sure, my friend. Like,
sure, Chummy.
Can I acknowledge?
Yes, bud.
Thanks.
Yes, buddy.
Okay, Holmes.
Remember when I couldn't call you like husband for like 4 years?
I don't know.
On like social media, like husband felt like.
Oh yeah, but that
But even like I'd be like husband.
Just feels like Dodgy.
Yes.
The man of the house.
Yeah. Like we're not, like we're kids. What are we doing, dog? Like we ate sourworms for dinner. Like what are you even saying?
I impregnated you, dog. The chick I met
is happening
when
right
you were
now.
18. You carried my baby.
Okay.
It's wild.
I just want to say, as you talk, because I'm going to ask you, what do you would say to your 17, 18-year-old self?
I still need to tell you about my aha moment. Yes, but finish.
Okay, no, then maybe I'll say this. No, because I just wanted people to have in mind a picture that they might not have in mind.
Of me?
Which is, in varsity, Black would come to lectures.
Are you exposing me?
I am exposing you.
Okay.
Because, I mean, like 600 people saw it. So it's Black would come to lectures in a pair of white shorts.
Rugby shorts.
That he had in grade 2. Or was it grade 4?
Yeah, I had the legs for it.
Right? No, you have amazing legs.
Thanks.
But I'm just like, guys, they were shorts. Like they were. And I remember sitting in lectures.
It was hot.
And no, there's no excuse for that, Black. And he arrived late. And where
I lived in the east of Johannesburg.
Like, were you taking taxis? Did you take taxis in those short, or did you have your car by then? No, you didn't have your car by then. You didn't.
I had a car. Okay, I would not wear those shorts to North.
Yeah, it would be dangerous.
I would be killed.
So that's the 17-year-old self. That
it
was a lot. It was like 90% leg that we saw. Listen, this rapper guy walks in.
Yeah, but I've never conformed to like,
be not conformed.
Anyway.
Of this world.
Yeah, my shorts were dope, bro.
Okay.
I still rock shorts.
So that's the 17-year-old self. And I remember you because that was peak skinny jeans, the colorful ones. You had like all the colors.
Yeah.
When Lil Wayne was like, yeah.
I gave Lil Wayne the color.
Okay. Emlangisi.
Lil Tooch.
All right. Sorry, what was your aha moment?
My aha moment was my 17-year-old self always wanted to get married.
Really?
Yeah, but we've had this chat.
I know.
We've had this
but there's a part of me that's like,
But this chat is also on the internet. Okay?
Is it? I don't remember.
We spoke about it on 2.5.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. 2.5 husbands. 2.5.
Yeah,
the clearest coast. 2.5 husbands. Yeah, it's still. What's happening? I'm trying to promo you and you mocking me. I'm going to leave you. I'll leave you. Continue. Continue. It's fine. I'm trying to support what you're doing as your friend. And you're going to dog me like this. Okay, it's fine. Let me hear aha moment. A part of me still cares.
I like you, girl.
Thanks.
Sure. My aha moment was I've always wanted to get married again because of my dad, and I envisioned having a wife similar to you because of my mom. Obviously, you and my mom, like in terms of skin color, you're the same. You both boss ladies. I think every woman is a boss. But
I love your mom.
Yeah, she's next level.
Like she makes me feel like I'm not cool enough.
Yeah, because she's like the
she's so
very
cool.
definition of cool.
Yeah, okay.
Like proper. Anyway, so I thought, yeah, man, if I do this marriage thing, like if I get a chick like my mom, dope.
Did you like, I'm not trying to be funny. Was that a conscious thought? Because they say you marry your...
Yeah, I think that theory is true.
I do too.
Yes.
Because like there's things about you. I mean, my dad passed when I was 5.
But you know what
but there's things about you, that my mom has been like, shucks, that's like your father. Yes. Which I'm like, what?
Yes. But you know what the funny thing with that? Your sister.
What?
I'm exposing her.
Oh,
now.
wow. Okay.
She was like, yeah, I see it. Because I was having this chat with her, and then she was like, obviously, like you said, your dad passed when you were 5. So, but there might be other traits in your mom, because you've lived with her all your life, that are in me.
Is that what she said?
And I was like, I get it. That's why I get along with your mom, because me and your mom are like, we're like,
my son.
We're like, yo, man, rules are rules, right? Let's just
like if we don't work out as a couple, Black, I don't know how my mom is gonna take it. Like I don't know how she's
gonna. No working out. After this.
Okay.
Anyway,
but I lost track of what we were saying.
I remember.
Okay.
But the things that she said that in your mom. Anyway, that was funny. So I remember thinking, because again, the reference for a husband was my dad, the first 15 years of our lives. So then the reference for a wife is my mom.
Okay.
Right? So if I have to answer your question and say, did I consciously think about it? It's at that level, saying these are the references of husband and wife I have. So if I want a wife, she has to be similar to this.
But I'm saying you consciously thought that. That's my question. You're like.
But I'm saying I don't think it's a deep level of consciousness. I think it's just these at a reference level. Like,
okay.
These are the references I have. So a wife is supposed to be like this.
Okay, got you.
But but I think anyway. So my aha moment was you were something close to what I obviously envisioned, but obviously you more, because once you live with a human, you're like, next level. But I think my aha moment was, I would say to my 17-year-old self in relation to the conversation around marriage, I would say, like, brace yourself. Like, this chick is at next level of ocean, right? In terms of her depth. Like,
okay.
She's dope. She's gonna be dope, but Mpana, like, you're gonna be challenged, like, to dig deep.
I think you want to be challenged.
Yeah. Which I
want
which
a woman
I don't
that
want.
challenges me.
Yeah, I thought I did. But the level of challenge you give me now is in God's hands or life's hands, At first I thought, no, it's a woman who's gonna like intellectually stimulate me, we're gonna have deep conversations and and then like you get in your 30s and I don't want that, dog. Like I don't want you to come and push buttons here. Can we just have a quiet evening? I don't want to talk about the depth of whatever the world is. But I think how your life has turned out, I would say to my 17-year-old self, your wife's life and how it turns out is going to be a major challenge for you to dig deeper to be the man that you envisioned yourself to be.
Sure.
Right?
What was the man you envisioned yourself to be at 17?
My dad.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, my dad, community leader, strong, selfless, gives the lifts to the strangers.
At 17, was he still doing that? Because I know things flipped.
Yeah, he flipped when he was 15. But remember when he left at 15, he physically left the house, but I'd see him from time to
Yes.
time, and then until we actually met.
Yes,
So-
actually, yes.
So
yes,
when
yes,
we
yes.
met, you obviously interacted with me and my dad,
Yes.
but it was very scarcely.
Mhm.
It wasn't as frequent as when he was still living with us.
Yes.
So when you'd be at my house,
Mhm.
he'd come. Right. Anyway, I don't want to say what he brought, but he'd come to bring stuff.
What? Carrot cake.
Banana bread. But
Oh, banana bread, yes.
but the funny story about the banana bread, like, that's him like saying, "Yo, man, like,
what?
don't ever say I didn't do anything for
Oh,
you." dog."
flip. I got you banana bread.
Oh Lord. Anyway, I forgot who I was having this conversation with, and they were like, "Yo, man, my dad too, dog. Just brought brought a loaf of banana bread, and it's like
Wait, that person you were speaking to's dad
Similar.
also brought banana bread.
it was just like,
It was like, I looked after you, bruh.
yo, I
I got
did,
you.
like, don't, if you dare flip on me on the street, if you dare, right?
This is not funny.
anyway, but that's the being born till I'm 15 rather.
Yeah.
When I was born till I was 15, that version of him, that's who I wanted to be. Selfless, giving, sacrificial, good leader, communicates well, looks after his family.
So sorry, like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Contrast.
Yeah.
Because when I'm speaking to my 17-year-old self,
Mm-hmm.
it all has to do with career.
Yeah,
That was my point of my biggest, like, sort of challenges,
your
heartbreaks,
pain.
whatever.
Yeah.
And like for you, the biggest thing was the man you were going to be, sort of in relation to your family,
Yeah.
in relation to your community. That's kind of the first place you went,
Yeah.
which I'm assuming is the most natural place to have gone. I'm sure there's all those other things,
Yeah.
right? Like, and then that was the point that was the most challenged.
Yeah.
Or heartbreak.
Still is.
That's
obviously.
the biggest. I'm just saying it's quite interesting.
Yeah, still is.
Mm.
So, and yeah, to your point, I think what you're saying is true, and for me, that's still a challenge.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why I had that aha moment when you were speaking, because obviously you were chatting about career and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, so that was my aha moment.
So outside of me, what would you say to us?
My 17-year-old self.
Outside of your marriage and
Yeah, don't listen to your mom. Go study law.
Why?
Because I'd be hella rich. I'd have gang loads of
Do you
money.
still think that, like, now?
What? So I think I would have thrived as a lawyer, because
Oh, sorry. I think because people don't know what your mom said when you told
yeah,
her.
so I wanted to go study political science, and then I was like, maybe, I couldn't pinpoint what kind of gig I'll get from that. Law was always there, wanted to be an advocate. And then I was like, yo, maybe I should, because political science came later, like in grade 11. But law was there from like grade 8, grade 7. So then I thought, everyone is going to be a lawyer, like every black guy is a lawyer and a doctor and a teacher. But what is this political science thing, right? And then I'm like, I'm fitting political science. I'm going to be a commentator. I don't know, bro. I don't know many. And listen, it was my limited brain and limited information. There's probably a whole scope and field for this thing.
Yeah, you're speaking from like the information you had at the time. Yeah.
So then I'm like, yo, man, let me go study law. And my mother, I think she's also thinking I shouldn't have said that right now. But she was like, dog, you can do it. But I think you would do better if you study something in the arts.
That is wild, dude.
And bear in mind, I think what made that thing weighty was my mom, for those who don't know, when she was 15 when I was born. So we grew up together, She had to drop out of school for like a short time, and then continued. And then I think by the time she was in matric, she was because she had stepped out of school for a while. So I think by the time she was in matric, I was in grade 1. So I think yeah. And then we were both wearing uniform going to school, and so that was like hella weird, you know. And then then we just were homies, like we're still homies today. So she had never spoken into my life in terms of like career stuff. My dad was more that dude.
Because she was probably still figuring herself out as well. Like she wasn't that far into adulthood.
Yeah, probably. But again, I know what my mother's dream was for her, but she wanted to be a soldier. My mother just wants to carry guns and shoot stuff, bro. If my mother had a chance to be in the military, dog, that was her.
And when I saw her in action, where she was gonna listen, guys, Black's mom nearly took down four grown men. We had to hold her back. I was like, what? But I felt so safe.
Nah, she's a boss, bro.
Because I am running from a fight.
She's a boss.
She's like, let's go, bro.
She jumped over our car to go grab 4 dudes, grown dudes, right? But she had never spoken. Like, so if I would come home and say, yo, I'm going to start rapping, she'd be like, okay. Tomorrow I'm playing soccer. Okay. Right?
So she never pushed back.
Yeah, she never pushed back, and she never really investigated the thing. Her thing was, dog, it's your life. You know, figure this thing out. I'm here, obviously. Like, don't hear me say this and think that my mother was passive. She wasn't passive at all. My mother was hands-on. But in terms of, like, figuring out career stuff, my dad was more the dude who would say, okay, cool, let's think that thing through.
Yeah.
My mother would say, does this thing make money? Right? And are you happy with it? Dope.
Yeah.
So now, matric was the first time that my mother was like, nah, dog, I think. Then I was like, hey, maybe, right? Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. So then I went into the arts, and the life of an artist. but let me say this, girl. Like, I don't think we would have. Let me say me. I don't think I would have done 90% of the things I did as an artist if I wasn't married to another artist.
Are you saying it in terms of if you were married to someone who wasn't an artist, or if you were not married?
If I was married to somebody who's not an artist.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Never.
For sure.
Right? So and maybe that's, you know, I see my mother. Hey, now I'm connecting things. Anyway,
what's happening?
I'm seeing my mother as an example of the wife I want to be with. She's like, no, dog, go into the arts, and then I marry an artist. And maybe my mother was just preparing me for this life. You know,
like on a spiritual level.
Let's not go there. I'm not saying what level, just at life, right? Because I'm like, or vice versa, right? I think, let's say, had I gone, because I would have gone to Rhodes, or at least if I was accepted. But I was going to apply to go to Rhodes, to go study law there. I wouldn't have met you, right? And let's say somehow, somewhere in life, I do meet you, and we do get married.
Like in another timeline, this is happening.
Yeah, and then we do get married. You know, I think obviously being a creative was always in me. But you don't want to be a creative lawyer because that lands you up in jail. But anyway, I don't know how the dynamic would have been, you know. Just knowing myself and my natural disposition, I probably would have just supported everything you did and just.
But here's the thing: law was my option as well.
Although I think you would have sucked as a lawyer.
Really?
Yeah.
That hurts me a bit.
It doesn't.
That actually really hurts me a bit.
No, you've done the job. You're intelligent.
But sucked is like you.
Yeah, let me explain what I mean by sucky. I think it would have sucked for you, right? I think you would have sucked as a lawyer in terms of keeping up the career. I think you would have done well. You work, man. I've seen you. And you boss when you put your mind to stuff. But I think like rules stifle you, right? Like you and that's all law is. It's rules, right? Like rules kill you.
But I love Judge Judy. And like
you love her character.
Yeah, but she
Exactly.
brings order.
If Judge Judy was just
But she brings order in her
way. If Judge Judy was just a judge in jail.
Yeah.
Not sassy, doesn't say, hey, you an idiot.
Hey, you're a moron.
You're a moron. Right? If you wouldn't watch that show.
No.
Exactly. Right? Rules stifle you. Yeah.
Black was the kid, like, I don't even know, like, again, going back to 17-year-old selves, I think we would have been friends.
Yeah.
But you would have irritated me in how you follow the rules. Because Black is the kid who wears his blazer
when
it's hot because we're supposed to wear blazers. I'm like,
and we're at the taxi
what are
rank.
you
The
saying?
teachers are not there, but I'm like, I represent the school, dog.
I'm like, did I even bring my blazer to school?
Yep.
No.
Yep. Do you even know
You
where
would
your
have
blazer
frustrated me with your, like, no, we...
But I'm not like that. I just follow the rules, and if you don't, it's fine, dog, whatever. Right? But anyway, I would have told my 17-year-old self not to listen to my mom. And
Sorry, is this what you think currently today?
yeah, 100.
Really?
Yeah, I would have.
Wow.
I would say to my 17-year-old self, dog, don't listen to your mom. Go study law. Go make law money. Be an advocate. Like, kill this thing. Although, I told somebody this, and they were like, we would have been starved of your gifts had you gone into law.
And I think that's why I'm surprised you
And
think
then I'm
that
like,
now.
I'm like, my gifts are starving me.
I'm starving.
Which ties to what you said to your 17-year-old had you spoken to her a year ago, 2 years ago, right? Because like from 2019 basically, not even 20,
No, it's for me or for you?
For me,
Yeah, okay.
2018.
Mm-hmm.
From 2018 till probably for me the end of 2020. It was just a rough season when it came to our music, right? It was rough, and things were just not happening, right?
Considering how much effort
we put in stuff,
Yeah.
we did things, but the math was not mathing, bro. The numbers were not numbering, right? And it was tough. But at that point, again, me, spirit of resilience, I just push, I just go, do. And then 2020 happens, lockdown happens, blah, blah, blah. I remember I had a season where I was making music I would consider my best music. I was a fan of that music. It's not that I wasn't a fan of myself before, but I think I was trying to figure out my voice as a musician. And now, sitting this side, I'm like, I'm actually not a musician, right? I think I just like talking. And music presented itself as a platform for me to talk.
It's one way to do it, yeah.
Right? And then I was trying to figure out my thing there, but again, here's a speaker who's trying to be a musician. My music was just full of speech, right? And maybe that's why I wasn't really like an extreme fan of myself until I actually just 2020. I just made music for music, right? Yes, there was a core purpose. There was a big reason why I was doing it. All that stuff has always been there. But I think I became a fan because I just started making music and it was fun, and I could really throw in my full personality in there. I wasn't trying to speak through my music. But I realized now, I think, no, that's why I would even gravitate towards something like law. I just want to talk. That's who I am, right? And that's why I don't want to talk at home, because it's safe. I want to talk out there. Anyway, I'm gathering my thoughts. I'm gathering my thoughts. I'm an introvert who gets energy from being at home alone and don't talk, so that I can go give the energy out there.
I want energy from you, Black.
I give you a lot of energy.
You're saying that you figured out what you wanted to do.
Yes.
Right? After where like what the heart of who you want to show up in this world as. Right?
If I die, what would I want to be remembered for?
In light of eternity, like whether you're remembered or not, like.
Yeah, but that
Isn't
now
that
we
dark?
can't just. No, that just makes me think we have to live passively.
No, but I'm just like.
It's not.
You'll be gone.
Yeah, but if I'm supposed to reflect God, God has given me time in this world so that I could reflect who He is. He's a great God, so I can't just be like, either way in eternity.
No, I'm saying do your best, obviously.
No,
So
I think that is to say that I shouldn't put my all in whatever it is that God wants me to show up as in this world, because then because we don't know what the future is, if that thing doesn't become, then that will be crushing, which is what happened to us. Right?
by put your all, you mean like let it encompass you completely?
Everything.
I just wanted to clarify that, because it can sound like I shouldn't put my all, like I shouldn't work that hard.
No. You
Yeah.
put your all in the sense that God now becomes, He's a spectator
He's a
in this
featured
thing.
extra.
Yeah, he's a feature, right? And it's like, oh yeah, God, by the way, you here as I'm doing this thing that I believe you called me to do, and then no, dog, it's supposed to be the other way around. But yeah, anyway, what was your question?
My question was that, like, obviously all of this has taught you, and I'm not trying to force you to have the answer. I'm just surprised that with everything that life has taught you and the
So
level
far.
of confidence you have now, that you would still say to your 17, like, as in you would still redo this whole journey.
Yes.
Which is fine.
Yes.
Does that mean you have regret?
No, I don't have regret in one sense. I think why I would say that to my 17-year-old self, and maybe that's the question, why would I say that to my 17-year-old self? That's it. Like done. And I think it's what I was telling my little sister. I'm like, would I at this age not want to pursue some of the things that I've pursued in the past 10 years? Yeah, but with lawyer money, that will be easy. So I would say to my 17-year-old, go work, be an advocate, a lawyer, whatever it is, get that bag, right? Then in your 30s, dog, you've saved some money. Just think, for the next 10 years, I'm going to pursue this stuff. It's just purely practical. It's purely practical.
But then you're tired, bro.
Says who? Are you tired now?
I'm always tired. I'm in a permanent state of being tired. I want to go to bed right now. Like, Lord, is that even a question?
Lord help me. That was a good one. Anyway, but you're not tired to pursue your dreams. You're not tired.
No, I'm definitely motivated. I'm excited. I'm definitely at that place. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be tired.
Okay.
I wouldn't be tired.
So would you still... Because ultimately you're saying I would do law so that I can do music at 30.
Yeah, probably. I mean, obviously I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have done music, so I wouldn't have gathered the data to know if the thing would turn out the way it's turned out, So I'd probably be now in my 30s doing the music thing.
Experimenting.
Yeah, sure.
Without knowing what you know now, which is actually, I just want to... That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then the thing is, and here's the thing that I'm getting at. Being a musician, creative, an artist, full-time is costly.
Yeah.
It is rough, right? And we've lived through that.
Yeah.
And that's the tough thing that I would say to my 17-year-old, which is what I'm saying to my sister who's 17, who's an artist who wants to go into acting. I'm like, chick, we don't come from a trust fund family, right? So we need a practical plan. But coming from, I know I can be what I want to be, I didn't think, and my mom didn't think, we don't have trust fund money, so maybe let's secure the bag first before we let you go, right? For me. And that's the thing I would say to my 17-year-old self. Dog, I think you can explore stuff when it comes to the creative world. It's in there, when I went to what I call the White Sangoma, which is a career guidance counselor.
Yeah, no, they're guidance counselors, but he's got some
he's
weird stuff.
Next level. Right?
Even though I don't think he read me right, he read you right.
Anyway.
No, let's not go there.
Anyway. So anyway, I did the test and and basically when the test came back, the dude was like, I think you have, big brains and you have stuff to say. Do I think that you primarily are creative? He was like, no, but I can see the creative stuff that's there. I think you tend to use creativity to speak, to communicate.
Yes.
So my creativity is a channel, it's a tool,
yes.
Right? So I would say, if I'd compare us, I would say you probably purely a creative. I'm a talkist.
You talk creatively.
I talk and
that didn't come out as powerfully as I wanted it.
come on now. But I use creativity as a channel to so that's why I like dressing up, because it's a way for me to communicate to the world. It's a way to communicate to myself, which I think clothes do so powerfully. I communicate something to myself. I use music. Bro, I'd be on stage and I have an hour set and I would spend 20 minutes talking.
Yeah, I remember, excuse me, I remember you being on stage and people like, oh, this guy, just perform.
Just stop talking
Because
and start
it's
rapping.
not that what you're saying is uninteresting. It's just we didn't come for
We
this.
paid for the music.
Yes.
And you just on stage prating.
And I remember I'd say to you, like, don't talk a lot.
And then I'm like, yeah, sure. But in the back of my head, I'm like, I have the mic. I'm going to prat.
You did.
Right? So, and I think I've seen in most of the things I do, I just want to communicate. I have ideas. I'm an ideas guy.
Yeah.
And I want to share the ideas. And I think speaking is the best way that I do it. So, yeah, I forgot where I was.
No, it's fine. I just think it's interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
It's an interesting perspective.
Yes.
Of that you, with where you are now, you'd still tell your younger self to not do all the things which have gotten you to where you are now.
I know, but it's because of the money.
Mm.
It's because of the money. Yes, that's what I was saying. Being a creative is costly.
Mm.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Right? And trying to do it full time, which we've known. And you know, let me be frank. 17-year-old self, I'm like, dog, you failed. Right? I would tell my 17-year-old, you failed. I had a goal. My goal was that my music would be the primary thing that I live from, right? And everything else that I get money from now doesn't have to have the burden to feed me. Okay. I wanted my music to kind of take that burden, or my creative endeavors to take that burden. And so I would say to my 17-year-old, we failed on that goal, right? Did we learn other things? Yeah. Did I get here because of that journey? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did I come to this realization that I just want to talk in life? Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So we didn't fail in that regard, but the goal of wanting to...
Yeah, as in the original goal, what you set out for, you didn't get.
Yes.
But in that, you learned
other things,
something else about yourself, but what you set out for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you know, so speaking of speaking, I'm like, I didn't accept, and accept makes it seem like I was fighting, but I wasn't actively fighting this. But I didn't accept the truth that I failed when it comes to that goal until this year, when a friend of mine was like, yo, bro, you know, considering your failures. And when he said that, I was like, oh, shucks. Okay.
Seriously, Black?
That didn't hurt.
Mm.
I'm not saying it didn't hurt, like I was sitting there thinking, when somebody says this, I just realized I didn't talk about it. And the first time it was said, you know, and I realized that it was said, and I contemplated, I was like, oh, I thought it would hurt if it was said, but now it's said, and it's whatever, right? And then I was like, yeah, it is. It was a failure, right? And it is what it is. But that doesn't mean 17-year-old self that we stopped dreaming. It doesn't mean that we don't have other goals. We don't have other dreams, any other ideas that we're doing, right? Now, yeah. And I can embrace new ideas. I can embrace a new spirit of dreaming. I can embrace and have a confidence in moving in this new season, because I'm like, yeah, dog, it's a failure. Right? I feel like I was subconsciously holding on to that and not letting it go, because I didn't, and that didn't give me confidence to move, right? In this new thing. Maybe let's even be blunt, bro.
Okay.
Let's even be blunt, Lillian. Right? We haven't shot anything for this channel for how long?
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's probably that. Subconsciously, we talk about coming back and shooting. We started this channel 50 million years ago, right? When YouTube was probably like a dinosaur. And
well, not that long ago.
But it is long compared.
Like 5, 6 years ago.
2020, everyone boomed on YouTube, right? but and I'm like, at least now I can say, without having had realized it before and realizing it now, that I think I've accepted that certain things were failures in my journey and maybe our journey. And I don't want to speak for you. You hear? You're full grown.
Yeah, but I was dealing with failure for that was a chat.
But my thing is, I'm saying, did you think? I can say now, I know we didn't post because I was dealing with failure.
No, that's 100%.
Yeah.
And I think so when I think of my younger self, who to a degree was confident but also wasn't, to a degree was like my identity was so wrapped up in what I thought I could do. Sheesh. Right? And that's what I'm saying. It's like it was confidence but it wasn't, because if I wasn't doing that thing, I felt so unseen by people, and I was unseen. I only became seen when people found out I could sing or I could write or I could, like, then I felt seen. So it's like, it's confidence, but it's not real confidence.
You know, that was shocking for me.
What?
When you said that the first time, that I had confidence, but it wasn't real confidence. And sure, maybe it was a coping mechanism and a way to mask your insecurities, you know? So you play guitar, you write poetry, you write songs, and suddenly people see you, and then you think, oh, I have a superpower here. Yeah. I can move. Because I met you as, again, you know, I have this idea of my mom who's a boss lady who jumps over cars and wants to fight 4 men with AK-47. I see you, I'm like, dang, bazooka lady as well.
Yeah, but and I think maybe that's just like, not to be like weird, but I think that's just I don't know, on like a spiritual, like transcendent level, whatever.
That's who you are.
Yeah, you saw the true version of, because at the time I'm like, what? Like when we met, I was so broken, so lost, so like that's how I felt. And again, I only felt like I could take up space in like any way, like even at our varsity, like nobody knew I existed until like they found out I could sing. And then I did some films, I did well, but I'm saying like I didn't have a name. I wasn't like popular. I didn't dress. Like I was just like, I was completely invisible. Yeah. And only this chick who sings, the chick with the guitar. Okay, cool. So now I'm somebody, right? And I'm like, I need to keep doing that so that I can keep being seen. Yeah. So part of me wanting to be great in that, yes, is it the dream? Yeah, but it's also because this is the only way people will see me. Yes. This is the only way people will appreciate me. So now you see me and you talk about that you met this girl and you saw this boss lady, whatever, confident, whatever. I'm like, I feel like that now. Now I feel like I actually know who I am.
That's what was confusing for me.
But I think it's sorry, going back, I was saying maybe it's that transcendent thing, that part of you that was like, as my husband, my partner, you saw the true version of who. Why are you laughing? I'm having a moment.
I'm laughing because I'm like, there I was with my shorts operating.
I know.
In the spiritual as your husband.
Yeah, but like, and because that's my only explanation.
Sure.
Because there's things that you often understand. Like I've made decisions and Black has been like, you shouldn't do this thing. And I'm like, no, I'm doing this thing. Mama, you shouldn't do this thing because 1 year later, I'm like, yeah, Black, remember that thing that you said I shouldn't do? Yeah, I should have done that.
Now imagine if I brought the lot at home, then I would have been jail. But I'm just like.
But anyway, my point is just, I just conclude that maybe it's just a part of us that you come together, that you get married, right? And I don't think everyone is supposed to be married, but I think people who do get married, there's a purpose that this person's going to help you do whatever it is you need to do. And I think you saw that in me, even though at 18, I totally didn't see myself as that way. I think I saw it work out in certain aspects, you know what I mean? But my point is just, it's interesting that you saw that. I'm just like, I felt so. And the funny thing is, I felt like people saw that, like, I was very hunched down or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying that I think you saw that because maybe there's a part of you that was like, yeah, in 5 years, this chick's going to be my wife, bruh. And I can see the real, I don't know, bruh.
I mean, I can't sit here and say at no level did I have any consciousness of that.
No, I mean, neither did I.
No, hundreds. And so I'm, you know, again, yeah, so I can't say that, but I agree that, yeah, sure, bro, maybe, but I saw a boss lady, I saw somebody who's confident, I saw somebody who's a visionary. I think that's one thing that's attracted me to you, that you are like a visionary and you go hard for stuff that you, like, put your mind on. And I remember, was it this year or last year, we were driving, right? And then I was like, girl, man, I miss just you, like, speaking with a level of authority. And not that you have everything figured out in life, but, if you would say to me, yeah, I think just jump this bridge, right? It looks like no human can do it, but I believe you can. There's something when you say that to me where it makes me think, I'm going to die here, ne? Mara. Because she said it. I'm fine. Sangena dog. Like, I'm going to jump this thing. And when I land on the other side, I'm going to look back and say, girl, yabo, we can do this thing. We can do this stuff, right? But again, to our 17-year-old selves, the past couple of years, that died,
Yeah.
That you speaking with that confidence and level of authority in our lives, in my life, died. It's gone, right? And yeah, I don't know how, in what ways I died to you in those years. But yeah, anyway, it's probably a question.
I don't know if maybe another chat. That'll be another chat. That'll be another chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm okay with where I'm. Like, I'm at a place of acceptance. And like my mom would always be like, you just need to accept. I'm like, yes, I accept.
Yes,
Surrender. I surrender.
yeah.
Yes. I know.
I surrender.
No, yes. Like, Oprah, when she auditioned
that song
for,
is nice.
it's very nice. When she auditioned for The Color Purple,
Yeah.
and then she thought she didn't get the role, and she was devastated. She was on a fat farm or something, and she went on a run, and she was just like, she was singing that song to herself, I surrender, because even though she thought she didn't get it, she was like, but there's no way I could not have gotten it. But then she like released it, like, if I didn't get it, it's fine. Then I think like the next day, Steven Spielberg was like, yeah, you got the role. We just forgot to call you. We forgot to call you.
'Cause you surrender.
I always remember that story. Anyway, I don't even know why I mentioned that. But the whole thing of surrendering and acceptance, like, because I think, and that's why I asked you about the regret, because I think for a long time I had so much regret. And what regret does, it robs you of living in the now, because you're constantly trying to undo what you did.
Destroy.
And it's devastating. To live in regret is so, and then you feel guilty, because now I'm like, if I'm regretting that, am I regretting my child? Am I regretting my marriage? Am I, it's like, that's what I'm saying. But now I'm like, sorry, again, that's why I asked you about, do you regret? Because I'm like, I genuinely don't. Like, I genuinely have that thing that I thought people were faking when they're like, I'm grateful for everything I've been through. I'm like,
yeah, sure.
oh, please. But I genuinely am.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel more free now to be who I want to be, because I know what it's like to be completely stripped.
Yep.
Right? Like, I feel more free now to pursue what I want to pursue, and I'm not as afraid.
Yep.
Right? Like, yeah, I have my days, but I'm not as terrified, because I'm just like, yeah, dude, like, we're here.
Life will happen, bro.
And let's do this thing. And what I want to teach my child is that, like, because for me, because my identity was so wrapped up in what I could do, right? How I showed up, how people perceive me, and I can do this thing, and this is the only way people see me. And if I'm not doing this thing, then no one's gonna see me. And now I don't matter. I'm nothing. Right? Now I can kind of say to her that, like, figure out who you are first. Like, find out who you are. Like, be comfortable in yourself. You'll do different things, and that's also another thing that I was obsessed with. There's only one thing I'm supposed to do.
Yes.
And if I don't find that one thing, then
done.
I've failed, right? But I'm actually like, no, life is long. You hope, right? You hope life will be long. And then most of the people that I admire have done many things in their lives. And it's like, yeah, you try something, you pick yourself up. And the aim is to figure out what's the lesson in this thing and to just keep going. Right?
And even the phrasing, the language, discover who you are, figure out who you are. And I know what you mean, but maybe it's worth double tapping. But I'm like, living in a world where we so brand conscious, and it feels like you need to figure out what brand you are. And I'm like, yo, man, I think what the past couple of years of having gone through the struggles of failing and, not meeting our goals and etc. I'm like, yeah, but what does that mean though? Who I am, because for the past 10 years I believe that's who I am, a musician. I believe this, but it's that's why I preface it with this, that it's probably this thinking of in the culture of living in a brand conscious society where we have to be brands, and this brand does this and this brand therefore cannot do this other thing. But life is like, no, I have other ways, God has different plans and you are who I'll want you to be. And so yeah, because then I'm like, I don't want to also speak from a place of saying having new dreams now means that I'm gonna, move in that confidence, and therefore it's not gonna be like the past 10 years, and I'm more clearer now where I'm like, I'm gonna get to 40 and maybe look back and think, yeah, I've learned a couple of things, and I'm adding that onto my 40-year-old self, and that's
because
where
we're
I'm
constantly evolving, right? And
yeah.
But I think what I'm.
Ooh, you used the word evolve. Anyway.
Oh. So, I think what I'm saying with that is there's a level of awareness.
Yeah.
Right. So if I had been aware, and here's the thing, I did know it, I just didn't want to really look at it. Okay. If I had been aware that a lot of my need to be successful was because I just wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be valued, right? Like a lot of my need to be number one, right? It was because it wasn't coming from a place of a natural thing. And here's the thing, I'm not saying that if you want to be the top, whatever it is, it's coming from your place of wanting to be accepted. But for me, a lot of it was because in my the brokenness that I experienced in my upbringing and the brokenness I experienced at school and just all along my journey, it was, if I had been aware that the reason that I want to succeed is because I want to be seen and it's the only place I find value. If I had been aware of that, I wonder what my approach would have been towards the decisions I made in my music career. So I probably would have still sung, or I probably would have, but the way I approached it, I think would have been very different, right? It would have been, I think it would have been I just think it would have been a different experience. And that's what I'm knowing about myself now, where I'm like, what do I want and why? So I would like us to talk about this, like at some point, like success, right? So living in middle-class Johannesburg, South Africa, right? The idea of success is you must drive a certain car, you must live in this neighborhood. And then I kind of go, actually, if I lived in like a little tiny city, like tiny town, like near the beach where there's like 100 people, I would actually be fine with that. Right?
Far away from this noise.
You know what I mean? But the idea is that no, you should be like going to that place for cocktails. And so you adopt these mentalities. Sorry, it's because I saw that on Instagram. Like this place, their whole thing was luxury cocktails on a rooftop. And I was like, yeah, I want to do that. I'm like, I actually don't. I hate that stuff. Like I like cocktails, but I hate the concept of, we're here. You know what I mean? But anyway, circling back, it's, if I had, and maybe I didn't have the capacity at 15 years old to be that self-aware. Yeah. I think some people do, right? But if I had been that aware, how attached would I have been to certain milestones that I only placed so that people would value me, not because I wanted them for myself. Right? So I think that's what I mean when I'm saying knowing who you are. Like, as in, I know who I am now way better than I did a year ago, 2 years ago, right? Yeah. And I'm in a constant conversation of, why am I doing this? Why do I want to do this? What is this new dream about? What is, like, I'm in a constant conversation of in that so that I guess it's an attempt, and my hope is that I won't get caught up. So that, because like you said, there'll be other lessons we're going to learn, right, by the time we hit 40. But I don't want to be relearning the lessons from 17 to, you know what I mean? I don't want to be going back there. So it's like, at least if I can have some level of awareness as I approach my life now, the hope is that I can still have a sense of fulfillment, because that was another thing. I was so unfulfilled back then, because unless I had the thing, so that's why it was so devastating. Where I'm performing at the festival, I always dreamed of performing, and it feels nothing like what I thought it would feel. Was my performance good? Yes, but it didn't feel right. Like it wasn't. It was, and I don't know what to do with that. Right?
Stuff didn't align.
No, but if I had just been like, bruh, I want to go on stage and have the best time
Just have
and
fun,
perform
bro.
and
Yeah.
like just kill it. And I've seen other people in that space, specifically within music, who just, there's a purity they approach it with, and they're just having a better time. I think I would have had a better time.
I could say this about you now, that there's a sense and maybe a confidence of you fighting to not believe certain narratives that you've created, and maybe other evidences in life have supported those narratives.
Yeah.
So you act. I've never experienced you in the 15 years of knowing you, or however long. You actively fighting to uproot certain narratives and falsehoods, I guess, about yourself, you know. And part of it, dog, is I like you cool, ne?
Thanks.
You cool, dog. And let me define what cool is, because people think if you just shining and you bright, you are cool, right? And I'm like, no, man. There's people who are, there's trendy and there's cool. Cool is like what you said with my mom. My mom is like, and you, and I think people who are cool, like, hey man, there's just a chilled frequency that you're on where, and that's what I think cool is, right? Like
That's what I think cool is.
Yeah, cool is it's not trendy, it's not loud, it's not bright, it's
not trying.
It's not trying. Cool is like, hey dog, like we chilled, man, and this is what it is. I'm not trying to faff around. Like, here's who I am, and let's deal with it, right?
Right.
And I could probably articulate that better, but for now, that's what I'll give. But I think even that level of cool made me, and I'm saying you, correct me if I'm wrong, but made us think, like we're above these falsehoods or certain narratives we build ourselves. Like, I don't have to uproot that.
Yep.
Like, it is what it is, you know.
Like that doesn't have a hold on me.
Doesn't have a hold on me.
I do not have childhood trauma.
Yeah.
What are you saying? What? I am the head and not the tail.
Come on now. Right? There were certain things where you're just like, I'm just too cool for that, man. I'm too cool for school, like. And now I'm seeing a level of cool that you add, which I think is, and maybe that's what's going to happen. Like, you will be eventually, as you get older, get to what ultimate cool is.
Judge Judy.
Yeah, Judge Judy's absolute cool, bro. Judge Judy is that's why I want to be 80. Actually, I know she's not 80, but that's why I want to be 80. She is.
She's over. I think she's like 85.
She's over 80.
Yeah, I think so.
But that's, 80-year-olds, bro. Somebody said when you get to your 40s, like, you just like, I don't care about stuff, bro. Not that, like, you're not involved. Not that you don't have, like, interest in things. But, like, they just don't have a hold on you as they did in your 20s and 30s, right? And I'm like, I can't wait to get there. But there's a level of that when you're 80. Right? It's just like, but Judge Judy still looks amazing and she kills it. But it's just, so I will eventually get it. But we operated in that, and I'm seeing that now in you. Where it's like, no, I'm actually gonna deal with the stuff that I thought I'm above this. It's above me now, right?
It's above me now.
Right? Where you like, I'm gonna dial down and just, talk to myself, man, and say, yo, listen, that's not true.
Yes.
Take that, fight that, push back against that. That's a negative thought. That's a negative narrative. That's
or
not
like
true,
you have a negative mindset. I remember.
Yes.
A friend of ours from like another province. We'd see him like once, like every 6 months or whatever. And, naturally, how you doing, whatever. And this one time we're in the car, we picked him up from the airport or something. And then he's like, oh, Lily, how you doing? And I was complaining. I didn't realize I was complaining. Then he was just like, yo, Lily, every time I see you, like, you have nothing good to say. I'm not going to name and shame.
What province?
Eastern Cape.
Okay.
Eastern Cape.
I don't know.
I'll leave it there. It's okay.
I don't have an idea.
No, I'm not shaming him. I just don't know if you'd want me to out him. But
Okay.
he was saying that, Lily, every time we see each other, like, you never have anything good to say. And I was in the car, like, I was like, excuse me? I didn't say that, but I was so offended. I was so offended
real.
that this exactly.
I am real.
I'm real. What do you mean?
Yes.
Until like, and it that comment stayed with me for years.
Sheesh.
And only I think, like in the last 1-2 years, I was like, I've actually had a very negative mindset.
Yeah, but you would even describe yourself as a pessimist.
Yeah, I would just describe myself as a pessimist, yes, but I didn't think that's what I exuded to other people.
Yes.
I didn't think that like...
What did they think of me?
I didn't think that I was now... In me saying I'm a pessimist or whatever it is, I didn't think that I was coloring my experience of life in a very negative, overall negative shade, if that's a word. And maybe that sounds ridiculous, but I think that talks to what I'm saying, where what you were saying, that there was a disconnect between what you're doing and what you're actually doing.
Sure.
And like, I'm not gonna, so like, yeah, I was offended that this guy called me negative, but I'm not going to address what that is, because then I have to actually address what I really think of myself.
Take accountability,
I have to now we're not going to talk about that. Now I'm like, now I can stop myself if somebody asks me how I'm doing and actually be conscious of what answer I'm actually giving this person. Not because I want to impress them, but because for me, a negative response was so natural. It's just a natural thing. But now I can be like, no, I'm good, bro. Like, me and my daughter watched movies in bed, like, and did nothing the whole day, and it was great. Or I could talk about the fact that money's tight or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a thing where being aware has given me the power to choose.
Sure.
And I think I assumed I was choosing, but I really wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like that didn't make sense.
No,
we're here now.
It did. It makes sense. Maybe to wrap it up, because we said we're gonna chat about 17-year-old selves, but in relation to each other. So what would I tell your 17-year-old self? What would you tell my 17-year-old self?
Shucks.
So first year, 2008, we meet each other, teleported back in time. What would you say to me in sound designing class?
It's so hard because there's the you that I met on the onset, and then there's the you that I sort of saw throughout, like, that first year. And I think I would say, I hope this comes out right, because it's not a fully formulated thought.
That's fine.
But I would say to you, you don't have to perform so much.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Because I think there are moments when I would observe you, and I just felt like you were performing.
For other people. I know why I do that, though.
I don't know, but I don't know if you knew why you did that then.
But performing, okay, maybe define what performing is, because I have a definition in my head and a picture of what I think you're saying.
So, I think what I'm trying to say is this, that like there's a lot of stuff that I saw you go through in those years, right? But there's also a lot of stuff that I found out you were going through now.
Yes.
Like 15 years down the line, where I'm like, I didn't know that's what you were dealing with, Black, because I felt like you were just performing so much. Like it felt like, so you are very much life of the party, hype, whatever. Like that, like anyone who knows you, that's you. Yeah. But also people who know you, also you do have an intensity about you, right? Like, and I'm not saying you have to be either or, but I think maybe this was my spiritual knowing eye. I don't know, but it often felt and like it felt like it, but I connected now later. It felt like that you were compensating or overcompensating. So the part of your personality that is funny, this is like you really dialed it up, right? And then maybe me being a pessimist, thinking there's no way a person can just be like this all the time, or maybe just feeling like, nah, dude, like this stuff, like something about this feels put on, even though it is a part of
Yes.
your personality. But again, it's that dialing up
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
right?
sure.
And then as we experienced life, I found that there were so many things you were going through that were hectic, that any person would be a mess, but you at school going, you're this guy.
Yeah.
And then, being married, and then we talk about the past, and I'll find that you were dealing with that in second year. What are you saying? Then
I mean, you
think
can
of
say it
I
because
think
people are
of the
probably
guy-
wondering, what are you saying?
No, but like you being homeless, like you not having school fees paid,
Yeah.
you not eating. Like I remember when you were losing weight and people were like, what's going on with Black? And we laughing, kiki. But you lost weight because you didn't have food to eat. That's the level of like suffering you were going through, but you were performing.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it's
performing has bad. I mean, I get it. It
Not-
does have negative connotations, but because that's why I was like, earlier on, I'm like, performing sounds like, you fake and you're not really you, and you're just playing a character.
no, I think you were zoning in on one part of your personality.
Yes.
And for that, people saw that as your whole personality or
Yes.
your whole sort of being, right? And I don't know whether you did that because you were self-preserving or because you felt like it was, if I show the real truth, people are going, oh, you didn't want to make things awkward, whatever it
Yes.
was, right? Like it's that thing where I think I would say that to you, which interestingly now, like the way you talk about like your dad, for instance, right? Like when things were really bad, you never spoke about it the way you do now. Like as in just referring, like, this is a tender spot.
Yeah.
So even in that, there's a level of not performing that you're doing. There's a level of, this is my reality. This is what it is. I'm not trying to impress anyone. I'm not trying to hide. Obviously, we all, it's human nature. You're not going to, even in this podcast, we're not going to like share all our stuff to all the people, right? Like that's ridiculous. But there's a level of you being settled in yourself now where, I will be the guy who can joke around whatever, but I'll also be the guy who will, spit facts. Spit that knowledge.
My political science consciousness.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think it's that thing where I would say to you,
When I hug my 17-year-old self.
I always want to hug your 17-year-old self.
Yes.
Like, I always want to be like, Flip, man. I just want to hug that guy and be like, it's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would say, and that you'll figure it out. And to be like, you are actually great. Like, I think you're like the greatest person I know, right? Like.
I mean, you said it at a time when I was like, that's all I needed to hear, but I didn't believe it. But because you said it, I was like,
Because it's
the knowledge. The knowledge.
But I don't think I'd have anything to say to your 17-year-old self regarding, career, marriage, all of that stuff.
I mean, my career has been...
It's been dynamic, dude.
Yeah, no. And I'm like, the people we were first year to what I'm doing now, it's like, what? Like that was, we would have never thought that would have been a possibility.
Yeah. So that's what I'd say.
Yeah, and maybe to answer that before I say something to your 17-year-old, because I think you'll end this episode by answering what I've said to your 17-year-old self. To answer that, I think part of, so yes, Jesus now, that I am a Christian, that I think I'm more secure in my identity. Right? That's there, clear. And we can have a full conversation on that. But I think that gave me stability was my family. By the time we met, that was, and I'll probably use other words to qualify the thing, but that was the one thing I was embarrassed about.
Sure.
And that's the one thing that if society is this big ocean where we all just fish swimming everywhere, I'm like, there's the fish that's just swimming like this, right? There's the fish that's swimming straight. There's the fish that's just like paddling there, whatever. I was the fish doing this because I didn't know what my anchor was. I didn't, I'm running away from the sharks. I'm running away from the whales. I don't know how to play with the other fish because birth till like, end of high school, let's say, I had an anchor.
Mm.
And for me, I've always worked from that place, right? I've never been the person who works from self first, right? I know other people are like, I'm confident, I'm gonna do this. For me, it's like if my people are good, that gives me confidence to then move in the world, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And that was always me, again. And that was highlighted a lot because of the community we grew up in, even the family we were in terms of like extended families, etc. Where my nuclear family was the only family I knew that was complete: mom, dad, kids, right? And that didn't give me confidence because other people didn't have their families together. No, but because I had that together,
Yes.
that was all. And then it was highlighted more when I was like,
other people don't have this.
Yeah. So I've always moved from that. And again, parents are young. Mom is 15 when I'm born. Dad is 20. So we're kind of doing this life thing together, right? My mom was in school, obviously. My dad got his first gig when I was born. And so even trying to build a family, we're doing it together. My parents never left me out of decisions. And sure, and there's probably big things they spoke about they didn't tell me. But from an early age, that was a thing we discussed. Okay, cool, we have 5 rand in this house. And it wasn't like, out of scarcity. Because we laugh at stuff and we were very hopeful about life, So it was like, yo, man, we have $5. So how are we going to make it work, right? And I'd chip in, here are my ideas, this is what we're doing. I remember even the story of Christmas, where we Dodgy's Christmas, you dress the best, right? But I think I was probably 5 or 6. I'm like, yo, man, we didn't have any guap. And then how old was I in 94, man? We had just had the elections. So it was that Christmas. And then there were the white T-shirts with the blue, with the doves, right? The dark and the other, so it was dark blue and the powder blue dove, right? Those T-shirts were probably like 14 rand or something, bro, right? And we didn't have money. Christmas is coming. All the kids in the hood are dressing up. But then we were like, yo, man, my dad came up with the idea and then sold it to us. We're all going to wear the Peace in Our Land T-shirts, right? And for me, it was dope because I'm like, all of you punks got cool clothes. Dope, I see it. But who are you have uniform with your parents?
Ish.
Right? That gave me confidence. Grade 2, again, CV's day, we have to pay $2.50 or $3 or whatever. I'm like, yo, man, I've worn all the clothes, right? I don't know who gave me this suit, bro, right? Or it was my dad's suit or old suit, something. But it was a black suit, right? So I had a white T-shirt, black tie, black blazer, black pants, black shoes, right?
Hey, made in black.
That was the year Men in Black dropped.
Yes, it was, 97.
So dudes came to school with like Jordans or whatever, but I took the trophy, son, killed it because it was like smack. As soon as I walked in, everybody was just like, Man in Black, bro. Right? But even that, I didn't feel embarrassed because my squad was behind me. So by the time I meet you, my squad has fallen apart, bro. Right? So for you to so I was like, some people are probably wondering, for me to move from such dope beginnings to a place where I'm sleeping in my car, right? I'm like, dog, like I'm sleeping in my car. What you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's extreme.
My mom is freaking out. She doesn't know what this thing is. My dad is doing whatever he's doing, right? At that point, both my sisters are born now. I don't know where they at. I don't know what's going on. Sure, I know where they live, but I don't know what's going on with their lives. My squad is not there, dog. Right? So by the time I'm there, I'm just like, am I going to bother people with all the stuff?
Right.
Heck no, man. Again, I always moved in confidence because my squad is there. So I'd never had to put on a show. That was something that was built in me, again, by my squad. Yes, both my parents are leaders as well in their own right. In the spaces they occupied, they were always leaders. So I'm like, I think I have that gene. And so by the time I'm homeless, I'm like, yo, man, we can be leaders. It's just in us. We don't have to make people suffer for our pain. Like,
sure.
Just, it's cool, bro. Whatever, right? there's people we went to school with who didn't know. I spent time with them. They didn't know that I slept in my car. Like, we'd party together, and then I'd be like, I deuces going home, but I'm going to a parking lot, right? And dosing there. And they didn't know. And I didn't want to burden them with that stuff, right? Because again, coming from 94, wearing Peace in Our Land t-shirts, we can survive homelessness, right? We've done this thing before. And then we had comforts, right? My squad, we're building together. And now I'm alone. I'm older. So I'm not the 6-year-old, 7-year-old. I'm older. So we can do this thing, man. And another thing that drove me was, this is temporary, right? Because again, my family's life cycle, right? We went from peace in our land to then living well, right? Having like 2 houses, 4 cars, to then stuff falling apart. So I'm like, I've been here before. We'll get over this, right? So I don't have to bother people with that stuff. So yeah. But now, anyway, fast forward to now, you guys are my squad. So you are a squad. So I'm like, besides me being in Jesus, having you guys, I have a base, right? And so for me, yeah, I'm like, I don't have to put on a show. I got my base. We good. I can be myself fully. I can come home and not want to talk, right? Because I'm safe. We're good, right? Before, I'd have to talk everywhere because I'm not safe. But now I'm like, it's okay, bro. I'm safe. It's alright. It's good. I don't have to perform. Anyway. Yeah.
That's deep.
What would I say to your 17-year-old self? And funny enough, and maybe I was projecting because I was unstable in terms of my family. I thought you were the most stable human ever. You and our other friend with dreadlocks, maybe I shouldn't say his name, but we met in varsity. And he came from a stable family. So I just thought, damn, you guys are still, yeah, in fact, all our friends. I was the only one, I was the only one who was in a messy situation. But I remember looking at you and thinking, dope. Like, and then, obviously, what then cemented that thought was the first conversation we had in sound design class was me turning around and asking you for your glasses. And then you were like, hell no, got these for my dad. And obviously having the dad score, I'm like,
oh, snap.
Stability.
Yeah.
Right? So I thought you were the most stable person. And then obviously I find out later about your family. But then even the energy and synergy you guys have.
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
your mom and your sister, you know. And then just having a home at a place where I don't have a home.
Yeah.
You know, so what I would say, and then obviously then seeing your greatness and seeing your confidence and seeing the authority, I think, and maybe like you being a visionary, right? Let me say that. Just seeing that you're a visionary. I would say that to your 17-year-old self. You are the shizness, believe it. Operate in that, move like that, don't stop. It's going to get rough.
Sure.
It's going to get rough, but you're a shark in the ocean, dog, right? Sometimes you metamorphosize into a blue whale and you just like kill stuff, right? Like, but you're not a big fish in a small pond. You in all the oceans in the world, and you're a big fish there. You're killing it, right? I would say don't stop. It's gonna be wonky and weird. There's gonna be things in life that make you think that you are big fish in a small pond, or you're just a tiny fish and there's all these other big fish around you. I'm like, nah, dog. Like you stay as a big fish, you stay as a shark, you stay as whatever killer animal is in the jungle. That's you. Because there's a thing about you, dog. In everything you do, right? And this is, now I'm speaking as a rapper, you know what I mean? There's a viciousness that you have. And viciousness, not obviously, everything in hip hop is flipped upside down. You ill, you sick, that means you good, you dope. Anyway. But there's a viciousness you have. And I'm like, I would say to your 17-year-old, like, you smooth, dog, you cool. Believe you cool, dog, and you're gonna grow in your cool. You slick, you're gonna grow in that. But just don't stop. Don't ever get to a point where there's certain people who shouldn't believe they're hype. Where it's like, I think you need to reboot, get a proper hype, I think you should have a hype in life, but don't believe the hype you have now.
Or not in that area.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe switch. You have a hype somewhere else. I would say, dog, the thing you used as a superpower, right, to mask and cover up, was your actual superpower. Embrace it, wear it, right? What you described of me, I've always said, I wear a cape and then I come home and I take my cape off. But when you go outside, just put on your cape and perform, right? But I'm like, no, dog, your cape is real. Like, I put my cape on because then I'm, like when I'm at home, I feel like that's my superpower.
Oh,
right? That's my.
you. Oh, snap.
But I'm like, nah, dog.
You're guessing me.
I'm not.
No,
dog.
you're not. I know.
Right?
I know.
I'm like, you have an actual cape. Your cape is legit, dog. Don't ever think I'm just wearing this cape to mask. No, your cape is actually a cape.
That's the thing.
Your cape is a cape.
I love that. Thank you.
Right? Anyway, that's what I would tell your 17-year-old.
I actually don't have a response besides thank you. That's like
Right.
super affirming.
Right.
I think because of where I am now.
Yes.
That's like really affirming.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
My lips is dry.
Me too.
Yo.
Like, like they feel sore.
Yeah, I'm like,
I feel like they're peeling.
I'm like, how long
We
have
need
my lips
we
been
need
dry?
to stop
You're not
talking. No,
telling
but they
me.
don't look dry.
That's fine, girl. I love you, my friend.
Sharp.
Sure.
Thanks, man.
Yo, man, this was dope. On the couch with the new Beezies. See you on the next one.
Before we see you on the next one,
Yeah.
Please leave a comment below. What would you
Yeah.
say to your 17-year-old self?
Yeah, dope.
We want to hear, just curious, right? Like, but then you also might have to reveal your age. No, actually, no, it's fine. Just tell us what you'd say to your
Doesn't matter,
17-year-old self.
dog.
And if you are 17 now and you're watching this, what would you say to yourself now?
People who are in their 30s, that's all we say. We never say exactly how old you are.
It's just 30s.
It's just my 30s. You could be 39 or 31. It's just my 30s. All right, new pieces on the couch. Peace.
See you.